to the melody of your destruction. Let no joyful voice be heard. Let no man look up at the sky with hope. And let this day be cursed by we who ready to wait. The Krackin!
Release the Krackin!
Hey, look, it's the Krackin!
Hey everyone, welcome to Krackin Reviews. I am Jex.
I'm Dex.
And we are going to be reviewing Shadow and Bone.
Yeah, I honestly always get those two. I was literally about ready to say Bone and Shadow.
I've been doing this exact same thing.
Man, it's Shadow and Bone.
Yeah.
We're horrible.
Well, it's so easy to just keep
it
mixing
just
it
sounds
around
so much
in your head.
It sounds so much better. It's just like Bone and Shadow.
I don't know. They both kind of sound
pretty good.
Yeah.
And actually, since we are talking about pretty good, this show was actually pretty
Really
damn good. Yeah.
First off, if those who are listening do not know, this is actually based off of a novel. I believe a series of novels, if I'm correct.
Really?
But we're not going to talk about the novels because
we haven't read them.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of reading. If I read, I read.
It's a comic book.
Yeah, I read a comic book, more or less. It's got pictures in it.
I love pictures.
But which is the reason why we like movies and reviewing movies. Because those are moving pictures.
Just sweet moving pictures.
This show was really good. It was surprisingly good.
Yeah, it had its moments. Like I said, it did have its moments, and every show has its moments.
Yeah,
you're just like, oh my god,
no
stop.
Piece of literature is perfect.
Yeah,
like every single piece, as far as I'm concerned, every story that I've ever either read, watched, yes, I don't do a lot of reading, but the ones that I have read, there's still flaws in them. They weren't perfect books, but they were
when
entertaining.
Reading was cool.
Well, more like when I was in high school.
When I was forced to do it.
Yeah, when I was forced
to read the books that didn't have the pictures in them.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I mean, I had certain teachers that were like, "No, I don't mind you reading comic books. It's just got to be more than 5 pages."
Mm-hmm.
I can't
We're not here
remember
to talk.
said.
We're not here to talk about your past teachers.
Yeah,
we're here to talk about
it was like
Shadow and Bone.
Yeah, Shadow and Bone. But the book, whatever. The show. Keep on wanting to say movie. The film, the lengthy cinematic adventure that we went on when watching this is really good. The acting, the presentation of
the effects,
anthology, yeah.
In all honesty, I'm not.
Visual effects were mostly. If I were,
they had its spots.
It had its spots. Yeah, there were some.
Definitely went from
it's a little spotty here and there.
Marvel grade to YouTube grade in some areas.
Sometimes, yes, but not enough to the point in which you're like, oh, I totally want to stop watching it. I've actually accepted a little bit of this from Netflix. I feel like every show that Netflix produces seems to have a little bit of this here and there. Yeah. Even in Stranger Things, which to me is by far the best Netflix fucking show they've ever done.
I don't know. We got another review coming up. That one
was pretty good too. Good. No, I get it. Yeah.
Let's not count those eggs before they hatch.
Right. That had its
spots too, but still.
Yeah.
But anyways,
the show,
back to this one.
Yeah. The show, the characters in it, the character growth in the show is spot on. I can't.
The writing of this show was definitely there. You can tell that they were actually trying. Again, we didn't read the novels or anything, so I don't know how spot on it was or if somebody's gonna jump in the comment section and jump down my throat because this was nothing like the books.
This was nothing like well, whatever. It was entertaining. It
was super good. Like the situations that again you kind of like roll your eyes like oh my god, really? I can't believe you put this in. They still presented it in an organic way. Hold on.
Are we doing?
We're doing a full on
spoiler.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
No, we watched the whole season. The whole season's out on Netflix right now. It's like 8 episodes. A good binger to watch on your day off. 8 hours. Just sit back and enjoy the ride.
Right. So the show is like it's a mixture of like both like
this is
I want to say alchemy, magic, and science. It's like we're not really doing magic, we're doing science, but then technically magic exists in the world.
There's like a form. To me, this is like Full Metal Alchemist meets Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, in terms of
like the fighting
fantasy
and the magical aspect and stuff. Definitely, they present the magic as more of a science and less of like, poof, watch me make a rabbit come out of this fucking hat.
Yeah.
No, it's like,
or
it's there. All
watch me like chant some stuff. I mean, there is a part where it does go into that a little bit. But it's not so in your face. There's not a whole lot of it. It's not.
It just sort of creates the situation. Again, we're not going to we're spoiling it a little bit, but we're not going to spoil the main plot of it. Like we're not going to just destroy it. We do want people to go out and still be entertained when they go out and watch it. But we are going to do we will break
go into
down
the story a little bit.
Storyline.
So the idea is that in this world, there's this dark area. They call it the void.
The fold.
The fold. That's right. The fold. My bad. The fold. And in this fold, there are these creatures, and there's like all this smoke, darkness. It's very.
It is literally a void.
It reminded me a little bit of
calling it the void. Definitely wasn't too far off from that picture.
Yeah. But going into if you go into it, chances are you're probably not coming out alive unless you have some kind of protection of some sort. I do
like how they when they do present the idea of like this form of magic alchemy thing, that it's not so basic. Like, you have like the wind types and the fire types and stuff, but then you have like the rare cool ones like the fabricator and what was the other one? The tailor chick. She was fucking probably like a worthless power to somebody and whatnot, but like the imagination that came up with that idea is like, wow, like you really went out of the box with that shit.
Hold on, I want to say whoever's we didn't do a whole lot of research on this. We just watched it and we were like, we want to go talk about it. But
but that's just the thing. Like the person who wrote the books, 99% of the time have nothing to do with what's going on in the show.
Oh, well,
and then we've talked about before, like it could be a different writer on every single episode.
But generally, the ideas are more or less the same in the book and in the show.
Like for all we know, they pulled a fucking Game of Thrones season 8 on this shit and went
I hope not.
Like full on left field.
I really hope not.
That's why we're doing this type of review. If people are always wondering, it's because we're taking the show at face value, and it's like it's either a good show or it's a bad show. This was a good show.
Yeah, it wasn't super preachy in situations. I mean, don't get me wrong, there was definitely some situations in it, but it wasn't like in your face.
Yeah, and the writing was very organic, and that was one of the things I really liked about this show. Like the story just unfolded naturally. In the parts that they could have gotten, again, super preachy on or something about it, they decided that we're going to take a mild tone to it.
Yeah. And, there are things about it, about, the romances. It's just okay. They're clearly playing off the romantic book trope a little bit here. But that's fine. I don't
know, that 3-way romance thing that was going on for a minute, that was fucking weird.
It just reminded me of Twilight with
it was definitely that weird Twilight moment with sparkly vampire and doggy boy.
Yeah, except less sparkly vampire and
dog
boy.
Yeah, dog boy. Yeah, and also like the girl wasn't a whiny teenager.
Oh
She
yeah.
was a super bad. Like that's the other thing. Like they presented a main character that isn't like love me just because I'm a female and I'm a strong female. No, she proves herself to be a strong female character, and it
Yeah,
was
they
like,
show her development.
yeah, her development.
They don't.
Is
They don't just be
very
like,
well
"Oh, she's a
fucking done.
badass. She's a badass woman because she's a badass woman."
Yeah, they didn't give her the Ray treatment where they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, now you're the strongest person in the Force."
Yeah.
Like you can do Force Zoom calls with people.
Yeah. If anything, no, she struggled quite a bit, especially when she finds out she's this, special person. This,
This like super savior.
yeah, super savior. I thought you were about to say Super Saiyan.
She looked like she went Super
She
Saiyan
a
in
little
some of
bit,
those
yeah,
pieces.
yeah. But yeah, and she's one of these magic wielders. I can't. What do they call them?
Like I can't pronounce the name. That's the problem. Like it's like Geisha
Yeah, I'm not.
or something like
I'm
that.
not 100% sure how they were.
I know how it's spelled. It's like really spelled all honestly super freaking weird. So it's again kind of hard to pronounce.
right.
But still, like, yeah, the magical. The thing, another thing I really like the most about it is how they portray society in this. Like, even though
Yeah, there's
like,
a lot of reflection on society.
not just like the society that we have going on today, but like just the society in general. Like, you have normal human beings, and you have the power wielders, but then you still have like these royal families that they might not have any kind of actual like in touch to the magical realm or anything that they're trying to present here, but yet they still hold more power over these super beings in
Yeah,
some way. Like it's like wow, like,
Yeah.
how much of a reflection is that?
it does. It makes sense. Yeah, and the premise is
Up
it's
until the end when uh the what was
the main baddie,
yeah the main
heretic.
yeah the heretic's like yeah, no, that's not the way shit's working anymore. Like this is the way shit's gonna work.
Yeah. So it's definitely like that concept they're presenting in that a lot of Christian aspects go into this concept, like when it comes to like their views on
Geisha, that's how you
yeah,
say the
geisha.
name, Geisha.
Yeah, that's right, geisha. But on witches and stuff like that, and how
Yeah.
they treated witches.
Yeah, in the like
Back in the Inquisition times in the Roman or the Holy Roman Catholic Church.
yeah, I mean, like, there's definitely a weird, like mid-season, like 4 or 5, episode 4 or 5. They had this like weird time jump where it jumps back like 100 years, and you see like the way that they were
How
originally,
the fold was created.
yeah, how the fold was created and all that, and then you see like the way that they actually originally treated these people, and you're like, oh, that's a history that's not too far off from the truth.
Yeah, it's not too far off of the way that we are today. And remind like I gotta say, there's a whole lot of this that reminds me of the writings from anime and manga.
Yeah, they did have a lot of anime and manga like tropes going on in that shit.
Yeah,
like again, like that's why,
especially the character development. Like that's one of the things that I love most about anime and manga in general is character development, and this definitely had that in it. Like you have all these characters. When we talk about anime tropes, like in animes, you'll have like this character that's like some kind of super really good knife wielder or really good, really good at this
gunslinger,
yeah, and whatnot. And they definitely played on those tropes.
Yeah, it's like just because they don't have like supernatural powers doesn't mean they actually don't have like abilities.
Yeah, just
and stuff. Like that definitely was a really good presentation of
yeah.
that.
I like the gangster and his two
his little concubines.
Yeah,
Yeah, they definitely
love those. I love those characters. They're great. So there's this guy. He's like this. I want to say wannabe gangster, but at the same time, he's like, not really.
Yeah,
that.
he's at that level where he's trying to break into the gangster-esque world. Like still is a.
It also seems like he's in that world simply because he he kind of made some mistakes and he's trying to pay off debts and shit like
Yeah.
that. That also seems like has something to do with it. But he has this club. He meets this woman who's basically really good with like knives, and she's like super athletic. She basically could kill like 50 people in a fucking room.
She's
easily.
like a Middle Eastern Black Widow.
Something like that.
She is literally like a Middle Eastern Black Widow. That's the best way to put that character.
She is a ninja. Like there's even times in which she Batman's people. Like just pops up out of nowhere and they're like, how the fuck do you do that?
Yeah. That chick is definitely
and
off
then
the
there's
hinge.
Jasper, who
that's an interesting character. Like all around, like even when they first introduce him, like the way they first introduce him, where he just like shoots that coin out of the air.
Yeah.
Like that immediately tells you that character is going to be super interesting right off the bat.
Right off the bat, yeah. Like, oh, he's a gunslinger, first off, which, if you're an American, you love your gunslingers.
Yeah, right.
But he's super badass with it. And like throughout this show, like I keep getting this feeling like he has an ability like these, what do they call them again?
Heart tenders? The heart tender
No, I mean
chicks?
the people with abilities.
Oh,
the geisha.
Yeah,
geisha.
the geisha.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Something
it reminds me of the word geisha. Every time I think of it, every time I hear it, every time I heard it in the freaking show, I keep on thinking, they're saying geisha? No, they're not saying geisha.
No, it's geisha.
Yeah.
Like
anyways.
Geese.
Yeah, no, I get it. But
do you get it?
I don't know if I get it.
Yeah, no.
Whatever. He's a great character. Yeah, he really is.
He's definitely one to be watching when you're watching this show. He's definitely,
and he's and as far as I know, okay, I want to point this out. He's an original gay character. He's not something that they're all like, oh, we're gonna take this and we're gonna change
he's
him
definitely he's again, like, I can't express how much I actually quite enjoyed the organics that came of the writing in this.
It wasn't forceful. It wasn't in your face when it was gonna be like, oh, hey, he's gay, he's here, and you got to accept that now.
No,
it's more like we're not worried about the fact that he's gay. Who gives a shit? We find him interesting because he's a badass freaking gun wielder.
Yeah,
and he's loyal. Like he's this person who's like ready to have your back, have his the guy who he's following,
like mob bosses.
Yeah, I don't know,
Senor, like he honestly reminds me of the freaking Penguin. He's like skinny Penguin. He even has that like cane that's got the bird head on it and shit.
Yeah,
he calls them his crows.
Yeah.
And shit like that, and I was just like, "Yeah, okay, Penguin."
Yeah,
exactly.
He is like Penguin. Absolutely, he doesn't have the gadgetry,
No, but like he's got some skills. Like even though he has this like weird gimpy limp that he's got going on,
sleight of hand. He's got the sleight of hand skill.
Sleight of hand, yeah. And like he does.
And he's one of those characters where you're just like, oh, this guy's he ain't a threat.
Yeah,
he isn't a threat. But then you find out, no, this motherfucker, like, he will kill you if he has to.
Yeah,
and he will do it
with a big old smile on his face.
Well, what I mean is like he is more capable. What I mean is like he's way more capable than he lets on. Like he's even able to power through like this. Like there's a point in which he's trying to do this like undercover thing where he can't use his cane, and he's like going through the palace and whatnot.
Yeah, walking around
without the cane,
just powering through that. Yeah, and they're like, oh, dude,
you can tell that there's pain.
That was painful for him.
Yeah.
Well, at least painful for the character.
Yeah, the character, obviously.
We don't know if the dude himself has a
limp.
Leg injury.
It actually might be like that. They might go like, oh, we're actually going to change the story simply because this guy has a limp. I have no idea. Again, we've never read the books.
Never read the books.
And then so, but like, let's go back. Let's go to the main characters. The main characters are Alina, right?
Oh, yeah. Alina and Mal.
Yeah,
and of course the Dark Heretic, who eventually we're not going to spoil that for you, but the two characters that the story mainly focuses on is Alina and Mal. And Alina, obviously, we've kind of already spoiled. She's like this super badass
But
like-
they think that they're normal at first.
Yeah,
Like,
she is 100% not knowing that. Well, it's not that they think that they're normal. They didn't want to
or
be
they
tested.
think that she's normal.
Yeah.
I guess because like he's still normal.
Yeah, he's.
Like I
normal.
want to clarify that he's just.
I don't
a
even think
soldier.
he's normal, dude. How many times has that boy been shot?
Yeah, right.
Like he gets shot like more times than freaking 50 Cent, and he gets up every single time like it ain't shit. He's like, oh,
determination makes you bulletproof.
He's like, oh, I just got shot in the gut. Oh, I'm gonna walk over here and walk back to camp.
Yeah.
Then like
No, he got shot in the shoulder. That was when he got shot in the shoulder. When he got shot in the gut, he was crawling.
Yeah, he's all crawling, all saved,
He
blood
was
all
still-
going everywhere and stuff. You get like the second or first episode, he gets like attacked by the shit inside the fold. It's all freaking cut up from that. And he's like, oh, I'm fine. I'll go on to the next thing. And it's like, damn, bro, like you are pushing it way too far. You are going to die at an early age from all kinds of different shit.
Right.
Septic probably be one of them because you don't let your wounds heal.
Right. Yeah, but there's definitely this romance between them, but it like it's one of those
Starts as a childhood friendship and then eventually blossoms as they get older.
yeah.
sort
Well,
of
they haven't
thing.
even kissed as far as in that entire series. They never kissed once, right?
Well, that's because they don't talk about their affection for each other till like mid-season, and then they start longing.
Because even further down, it was like near the end, like
Well,
last 2 or 3
That's because
episodes.
that Taylor chick wasn't sending their letters and
Yeah,
all that,
yeah.
and all that fun jazz was going. They definitely did that. What is that? I don't know how many times they've used that letter trope. I just don't remember.
Where they're not getting their letters, and they're all like,
Not
"Oh,
sending the
he's-
letters."
He forgot about
he
me. He
doesn't care
moved
about
on.
me.
He probably found some other
Yeah.
floozy to go."
Probably just what that chick say? Tumble around with a stranger.
Yeah, go tumble
Oh man,
around.
that was bad.
Right?
You're like, oh, you're a hooker.
Right.
Uh,
And yeah, there's a lot of good character development in the show, and then and the thing about that is like they really do a good job at balancing going from one story to the next story because
Mhm.
like they bounce around from like Alina's story to Mel's story to like this group of gangster-esque
yeah, and
people.
then like the two random like characters that are off like
Yeah, and then
doing
there's
some random like the chick in the
midway into the season, they introduced this other storyline.
yeah they
and
have
you're
like
like-
4 storylines that eventually converge at the end.
Well, the 2 or 3 ones with Mel, Alina, and the gangsters, yes, converge. But the other 2,
yeah, because they're on the ship.
Oh yeah,
at the
yeah,
end.
yeah. She does at the
Yeah,
very
at the very
end.
end, they all converge.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
again, it's like the organics of how they all met up at the end and shit. It was like, and for all the reasonings why,
Yeah,
like it was like, damn, my hat is off to this writer because he is whoever
she. I think it's a she.
whoever
say it's a she.
them. I again, I can't really express it. It was just like, wow, you really presented a really good story here.
Yeah, yeah. Hats off, definitely. The writer
Should have
of
known it
this-
was a female.
That's why I keep. That's why I keep on wanting. Why I keep on referring to, as the writer. I can't.
Because you can't remember.
Yeah.
I've noticed that lately. I've like female writers have been like more my section of like liking stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, this chick knows what she likes. This chick also knows what I like.
Yeah. So her name is Leah. I can't. Here.
Leah Bardugo. Bardugo. Leah
Something like
Bardugo.
Well, Leah is a kick-ass writer.
Yeah.
Hats off. Yeah.
Hats. All tentacles up right now.
All tentacles in the air.
At least 8. 8 out of 10
least.
tentacles.
Yeah. I'd say 8.5, actually.
Eight-
I'd give her
Almost a
8.5.
9.
Yeah.
Almost a 9. Like, if it didn't have the points where I kind of like rolled my eyes, like, oh, really? Again? Like, then it would definitely be I would honestly almost give this a perfect 10 out of 10.
So as far as I can
But
tell,
she's not writing for me. She's writing for everybody. So
yeah, as far as I can tell, assuming that each novel is one season in this series, there's going to be three seasons.
okay.
Assuming, unless they somehow stretched one novel into
It is possible. Like
two seasons.
some people can do it by adding in certain fillers. Again, we did not read the story, so we don't know what is.
Yeah, it's very easy to be like, oh, he walked down the corridor. Instead, you spend 2 minutes.
10
somebody
minutes walking down the hall, and then they stop halfway through and talk to somebody about the fruit, and then they walk.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah, some scenario that never
like-
actually made it into the books, but it's
Yeah.
oh well, we want to actually capitalize on these books a little bit more than just 3 seasons. So oh, how do we stretch this into 6 seasons?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. I'm not saying that they are doing that. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised.
Or
if
they
that.
could, and I mean, this would be weird, but at the same time, I have seen it. They could only be 2 seasons. Like, for all we know, is that they took 1.5 books and made a season out of it, and they'll have to take the other 1.5 books and make another season out of it.
Yeah, that's possible too, as well.
So,
yeah, that's true.
But even so, again, my hat is off to this writer because it was a very well written story. It was very well presented. It was, again, the character development is just ridiculously awesome. But visual effects, awesome.
Effects, yeah.
I mean, what else is there?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, again, I was surprised when we watched it. I was skeptical going into it because I hadn't heard nothing about it. Nobody's ever did any nobody talked about it. It wasn't even.
It was just seeing the trailer and we were like,
yeah, oh, sure,
check
why
that
not?
out.
Might as well. And then, was in it to win it.
Fell in love with it and was like, oh, well, guess what? I'm binging now.
Yeah,
Pretty much stayed up all night.
Watched the crap out of it.
Crap out of that. I actually didn't go to bed until 4 o'clock.
That morning?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm so glad I watched it the day before. I watched it actually.
And I only got up to I finished up 7 and then went to bed. And then I had to finish up the last.
That's probably actually a good idea, too, because that last episode. So we haven't actually spoiled the whole season. We really actually saved a lot of the last episode because the last episode, again, is the tie-in. It's the end game of this season because it really brought everything together. There's an awesome fight scene. There was an awesome, just everything was awesome about it. Yeah. That's all I can say.
Can't say much more.
Yeah, I really can't dog this series. I mean, I'm not gonna tear it apart. Again, there are certain parts where I was just like, eh.
Yeah.
But again, the writer wasn't writing with just me in mind. It was writing with everybody in mind, and some people like the.
But most
scenes.
writers, really good writers. I know it sounds selfish, but generally, really good writers write for themselves.
Yeah,
they don't give a shit about anybody else, but just writing a good story. They just want to write a good story. Yeah, I know that because that's so I think about it. I think about if I want to do a story, I want to do it right. I want to write something good that not only makes people think, but also invokes those emotions, whether it be happiness and comedy and things like that, or
sad and sad.
Yeah, tugging at the
heartstrings of America.
But this one does it. Generally does all of them. There's even comedic moments. Not the most comedic moments in a series, but
in the setting that they're in. Again, we didn't
really
really talk.
Hard.
Yeah, I was gonna say we really didn't talk about the setting. It's kind of a war ravaged land.
Yeah. There's not a whole lot of
besides the fold that's going on that splits the main country in half. The surrounding countries are at war with the main country, and it's army is divided and all kinds of crazy stuff. Again, it's a really crazy kind of reflection of certain time periods of our own history.
Right.
Again, but not preachy about it. They didn't just jam it down everybody's throat. They're like, here's what's going on.
Here's this idea.
Yeah.
If you like it, okay. If you don't, whatever. But, Nothing's like, oh, we gotta try to get political with you or anything like that. Okay, I mean that's just about it for Shadow and Bones.
Again, pretty close, there for 10 tentacles, but fell a little shy. 8.5, 9, definitely put it up there.
Yeah.
Um,
I could definitely, if I were going to do some individual episodes, definitely I would rate some episodes as like
the
that's a
lower,
9,
yeah,
or that's a lower,
yeah,
and
that's the
more
reason.
like a
Like
7
this is
or something
why
like.
I went down to a 9, and this is why it's
Yeah.
not a perfect. Yeah, no, definitely. There's definitely a few episodes I could do that too, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, I kind of want people to go out there and go watch it.
I do,
and-
yeah. I recommend it very much to anybody. You will be entertained, especially if you like that kind of storytelling, where it's drama, not too much romance. Not
It was
too
like
much,
everything was sprinkled on. That's
Yeah.
like the best way to do it. Is say, man, it's like everything. It was just all
Just a
nicely
nice,
sprinkled on.
healthy
there.
coat of everything.
Yeah, not
You know?
not too much and not too
Like
not
an
not too
everything
light.
bagel.
Oh, like the everything bagel.
Yeah,
Exactly.
like the everything
A
bagel.
delicious everything bagel. That's exactly what this thing is.
An everything
Yep,
bagel.
an everything bagel.
Ah.
All right, guys. You guys have a good night and stay safe out there. Hope to catch you guys on the next Krackin' Reviews.
Have a good one.